What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Welcome to the Daily Dose Podcast, episode 9. Got a good amount of stuff to go over this week. Some great fights from Saturday night. Pretty good card coming up this weekend. Some current topics and kind of things from the week to go over. Let's get right into it. First thing we're going to go over is the Ian Garry versus Carlos Pratas card. Great card overall. Finally, a fight night that wasn't boring. I mean, it was in Kansas City, so it seems like fight nights like that are still pretty entertaining. I think with the low overhead at the Apex, they kind of take advantage of that. So, really good fight night. Before we get into the main woods, I mean, just to open up the card up, Jocelyn Hernandez had a beautiful TKO. Timothy Kwamba had a beautiful TKO. Malcolm Wellmaker had a beautiful hook KO. And he said if he got the bonus, which he did, he was going to quit his job and be able to pursue MMA full time. Shout outs to him. Great performance. He had a similar knockout on the Contender Series. Really be cool to see where he ends up at bantamweight. Shout outs to Damon Blackshear. I was around him for a good amount of time when he was at Jackson's. I've cornered him in a little kickboxing fight before. He looks great. He looked composed. He landed a lot of different shots. So keep grinding, keep working hard. Chris Gutierrez, John Castaneda, same thing. Both those fights were decisions, but like with Blackshears as well, very entertaining, action-packed, good exchanges. You can have a decision without being boring, but lately they've just been having a lot of these cards, free fight nights where they're just boring, So Evan Elder had a great fight. Matt Schnell had a great fight. On the main card, you had Randy Brown, Nicholas Dalby. He knocked his nose off, very similar to how Mike Perry got his knocked off by Jeff Neal. That was just insane. Then he ended up KOing him flat. Tough to see, but Randy Brown's been on fire. I believe he's on a good little streak. Be curious to see kind of where he ends up next. Giga Gigante had a great performance. Really good fight. He ended up kind of struggling with the grappling and getting controlled, and I think that's why he lost the fight. But on the feet, he was looking good when he was firing. Maybe a little hesitant. That could be due to the time off, but great fight nonetheless. Shout out to Anthony Lionheart Smith. After 60 fights, he called it. He started coming out, kind of feeling it out. He was catching some shots. He has that old school high guard, kind of take damage, wear you out, and then try and do his thing. And this new age, it just doesn't work. He was taking big shots. He ended up getting grounded and pounded pretty bad, got out of there. So it happens, he made his mark. He did some great things in the sport. Shout out to him, 60 pro fights, and shout out to him on his next journey as commentating. He's a pretty good commentator and analyst. So should be good for him. Now in the main event, we got Ian Machado Garry and Carlos Pratas. Now I'm going to say it right now. By 2026, Ian Machado Garry is your welterweight champion. I mean, he just showed his striking has just improved tremendously. We haven't seen him strike like that. He was keeping it at range. He was switching it up. He was cracking when he needed to. I mean, great performance overall. You could have easily gave him rounds 1 through 3, and then 4 was kind of more competitive. It could go either way. And then obviously Carlos Pratas almost finished him in round 5, showed that he's not a quitter. It was a great performance, but I mean, I got to give it up to Ian Garry. He impressed me. He showed how crispy he is. We know how well-versed he is on the grappling and the takedowns. That will definitely be your next welterweight champion. Be curious to see where that goes. He probably should get the winner of Bilal and Jack Della Magdalena on that June card. So be curious to see what he did next. Overall, though, that was a great fight night, action-packed. And this weekend, actually, it looks pretty similar. Let's check out this weekend's card coming up, another free fight night. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this one is in Des Moines, Iowa. You got Marina Rodriguez, Jillian Robertson. That should be a great card. A great fight, rather. You got Yana Santos, which was Yana Kunitskaya, who married Thiago Santos. She's fighting Miesha Tate. That's a good one. That's a tough matchup. See kind of where Miesha's at. And then obviously opening up the main card in his hometown, Jeremy Stevens. Should be a good fight. So the guy Mason Jones he's fighting was in the UFC. I think he was like 2-2. left the UFC. He's went 4-0 in Cage Warriors. Now he's coming back to the UFC. The only reason I would pick Jeremy Stephens, he's been looking good as of late in those BKFC fights. He's in his hometown. We're going Jeremy Stephens, second round TKO. Should be a good one. You got Montel Jackson, Daniel Marcos. That should be a good fight. Santiago Ponzinibbio and Daniel Rodriguez. I'm going with D-Rod on that one. They're both kind of older in their career. D-Rod has kind of a crispy boxing style. Santiago's more of that grappling, kind of big, awkward guy. I'm going to take D-Rod, but it really could go either way. We'll see how that shakes up. Rainier Day Ryder is fighting Bo Nickel. Oh, yeah. He had just beaten Kevin Holland. So now he's fighting a bit of a bigger guy, a better grappler. I mean, I think he has more MMA experience. I'm taking Bo Nickel, though. I'm going with like a TKO, second or third round. He's going to be grappling a lot. He's going to be coming at him. That should be a good fight nonetheless. Don't get me wrong, the Rainier Day Ryder, he's no punk. If Bo isn't on his P's and Q's, he could definitely make a mistake somewhere. We'll see if that happens, but those are the kind of the picks I'm going with. And then, of course, in the main event, you got Corey Sandhagen versus Davison Figueiredo. Very interesting. I mean, really, it just depends which version of both guys that we get. If Figueiredo is anywhere hesitant or flat, he's in for a tough night. And same thing for Corey. If he's not, sticking and moving, he could definitely get caught with something. I mean, Figgy's shown he has some strength. He's not just getting overpowered and stuff at 35. He's been doing pretty well. So, man, that's a tough one. I'm going Corey Sandhagen by unanimous decision. Possibly a late finish. Like I said, we'll see how it goes. That bantamweight division, it has some good matchups, some good potential fights coming up. Malley and Marab running it for the belt. I don't know. Some people say they saw it. I mean, I saw a video of O'Malley on crutches. I think it was an old video. I follow a lot of his socials. Everything else I've seen shows he's training. He's good. So I don't know if that was a troll move or what. But, yeah, that was last week's fights. This week's coming up. We'll see how they all go. Next thing we're going to go over, Poirier versus Holloway. I mean, I already called it and talked about it, but it's now official. Like I said, it's kind of shitty, in my opinion, for Poirier. He's got to beat the same guy again, and Holloway looked great against Gaethje. Hopefully he doesn't catch him with something like that. GFL, I mean, again, I knew it was going to fail. But, yeah, it looks like their main investor pulled out before they could secure the venue. And I'm going to just say it right now, they're never going to have an event. Sorry, but the one thing that the UFC is a well-oiled machine. You could try and compete with them. You could try and go against them. It's probably not going to work either way. But what they were trying to pay people on top of guaranteeing 50% pay-per-view, they weren't going to make that money back anyway. I don't think they were going to even sell enough pay-per-views to cover people's guarantees. So then you got nothing to split with them. It was a disaster from the jump, like I said. But sometimes people come up with ideas and give them a shot. That one probably not going to work. A great boxing fight on Saturday. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. Hell of a fight. I got to watch the last few rounds over again because the decision ultimately went to Chris Eubank Jr. And I thought it was Conor Benn for most of that fight, landing the better shots, coming forward. There was moments where Eubank Jr. got a little more comfortable and was landing some big shots, being the bigger guy. But towards the end, he was gassing out. He was getting cracked. He got dazed. That's how it went. Of course, back in the day, their dads both fought, so there's a lot of animosity. Chris Eubank Jr. and Sr. had kind of some back and forth. Sr. ended up showing up. It looked like a huge event out there somewhere in the UK, I believe London. Big event. Nonetheless, it was a great fight. He went out there and, gave it his all. A lot of people are talking about rematch, but I think based on the performance he put up, he goes back down to that 147, his weight class. He could do some damage. So I think that's what he should do next. We'll see what happens. Great fight, good performance by both guys. Eubank Jr. had to cut a ton of weight. I think he missed by 0.5 pounds, and he was fined $500K. He looked like he was really sucked down, but they both made it. They put on a good event. Shout-outs to them. Now, a couple of days before that fight, Eddie Hearns was getting interviewed, and he claims that Tank and Jake Paul are fighting this November. Now, I mean, I know a lot of people are going, Tank's too small. I'm just telling you, Tank will knock that boy in the next year. So I think it's trolling. Yeah, Jake's gotten better. He's gotten some skills, especially when you're the shorter guy hitting as hard as Tank does. He can just wing. I mean, as soon as he sees an opening, he can just throw everything he got. Throwing up, his overhands, his hooks. He knocks Jake Paul out. I don't think it'll happen. But that's what they're saying, so we'll see. Shannon Sharpe, the latest, of our mentor, someone we look up to. I enjoyed the podcast. Has some allegations against him. There are definitely some tricky ones in the sense what he's being accused of or kind of in trouble for his activities he's done with this woman before. From what I understand, it seems like they've had these interactions a ton of times. Unfortunately, this particular time, she didn't want to do what they usually do, and he wasn't having it. So if that is the case, I stand with her. Obviously, if it's a false allegation, shame on her, but it doesn't matter, guys. If someone allows you to do something 99 times but says no the 100th time, no means no. Always respect women. I will never rock with someone. Again, hopefully it's wrong, but I will never rock with someone, no matter how cool, no matter your influence, no matter how rich you are, that takes advantage of someone or makes someone feel a certain type of way, especially a female in that situation. So hopefully you didn't do it, Uncle Shannon. We'll keep our eyes on it and see how it pans out. YouTuber Jack Doherty got robbed allegedly. I think it was in LA or something like that. I don't know. From the video I saw, his shirt's messed up and stuff, and he said he got robbed for a couple $100,000 in change, but he's wearing a Richard Mille and a bracelet. Knowing how he is, probably just a publicity stunt. Who knows? He probably paid the cops and everything to come out there and be a part of it. He does a lot of controversial stuff I don't agree with necessarily, but at the end of the day, he's very young, making millions of dollars. He lives a pretty good life, so you got to respect that, at least in the sense of his money-making abilities. But, yeah, I don't think he really got robbed or was in danger. They probably just ripped his shirt up and pulled some stuff off. So who knows? I just thought that was an interesting one. Message of the week, guys. Your actions must be aligned with your goals. Okay? Life will reward hard work, but you got to be doing the right things. Meaning if you say you want to be in the best shape of your life, but you never go to the gym, you don't diet, you don't do the things you need to do, it's not going to work out. You know what I mean? If you say you want to be a leader, a CEO, whatever it is, and you're not trying to start businesses, learn, better yourself, be the best version of yourself, it's not going to work out. You can say things and put the, energy out there and manifest and all that, but the work's got to come behind it, but the correct work as well. You know what I mean? Don't be working in the wrong direction. Don't be working hard just to work hard. Work smart, work hard, get the connections. In this day and age, you can go on YouTube and find whoever you want, whatever you want to do, who you want to be. Look them up on YouTube. Find a blueprint. It's super easy, guys. I just want to keep motivating and inspiring people to be the best version of themselves and live their best life while we're here on earth. So thank you for tuning in and supporting episode 9 of the Daily Dose podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you again next week.